Hello everybody and welcome back to I Was a Teenage Exocolonist. We are in year 18, but this may very well be our last run of the entire game. It depends on what happens. We will see how many more new things we see and what happens after that. So let's get into it. It's my birthday party! Let's see. Oh, the baby was born! Cal brings over a hollow screen with a video call from Tammy. She looks exhausted but proud, and in her arms is a tiny little wrapped bundle of baby. "Look, Yabby," she says, "Echinacea just missed your birthday by a day." You coo over the baby girl and wish Tammy a speedy recovery. She looks even more tired than you are, but everyone is healthy and happy. Especially Cal. He takes the hollow screen for a few minutes after you're done so he can obsess over Tammy's new baby. When he returns to the party, he's so happy he sounds like he's a total dork. He tells everyone about the new baby, beaming so proudly for Tammy they can probably take readings from Earth. Oh! Now that the party's over and the fighting's over. Aww! We got another cake. I wanted to see the baby! Alright, I need to relax and then go out and try and find that flower that Auntie Anne asked for. No, wait! Oh! Geophonics has delivered its first crate of hot peppers to the kitchens. They're small and shriveled, but Aunt Anne has cautioned you that the smallest peppers are the most spicy. If that's true, these are going to be atomic. She wants you and Tammy to start incorporating peppers into the meals, starting with a pot of chili. Tammy isn't so sure. "Do we have to put hot peppers in the chili?" Tammy frets, wringing her hands. "I don't think I would like spicy food." You stare at her. You've been eating the same boring soy-forward mashes and stews for years. Why is she so scared of new things? Maybe she just needs some encouragement. Okay, this one is mean. I'm not gonna be a bully. But I can eat a whole pepper. I'm gonna eat a whole pepper. You crunch a whole hot pepper. Tammy cries out in alarm and covers her eyes. After a few seconds, the heat hits your tongue and your eyes begin to water, and then your nose starts to run. You feel your face get hot. Wait, that's it? You swallow the pepper, enjoying the rush of adrenaline that floods your body and makes you feel lightheaded and invulnerable. Tammy peeks through her fingers. You're okay?" she says. "You're a lot tougher than me, Yabby. I don't think I should try." Sometimes you gotta try it to know if you like it. And I violently devoured a whole pepper in one sitting. Oh! The last time there was a baby in the colony, you were basically a child yourself. You don't remember babies being so loud. The adults are all very empathetic to colicky, fussy Echinacea, but every time you've seen Tammy since the baby arrived, she looked more tired. At night, you can hear them all the way in your room. Echinacea's tiny, choking shrieks and Tammy singing to her until her voice goes hoarse. Oh, and imagine how that sounds with how sensitive Tammy's ears are. Everyone expected Tammy to rely on Aunt Anne in the new creche, letting her watch Echinacea just like she watched all of you when you were babies, but for some reason Tammy's been stubbornly trying to do it alone. Maybe because she has so much experience from volunteering in the old creche, Tammy thinks she doesn't need the help. Even when she does put Echinacea in the creche, it's because Tammy's right there, still caring for her. Then the things Tammy would normally help with get backed up, which makes her even more stressed. Aunt Anne has tried to convince Tammy not to be so controlling. It takes a community to raise a child. You've all grown up believing that. But whenever anyone even insinuates Tammy might not be all Echinacea needs, she starts crying and yelling at them. You've never seen Tammy yell. It's really unsettling. Today you find Tammy in the lounge, bouncing a squawking Echinacea on her shoulder. Though her movements are light and happy, her face is empty, like she's totally checked out. "Hey, Yabby," she says, summoning up a smile as you approach. "Sorry, am I being too loud? I can go somewhere else. How are you?" Just then, Echinacea starts howling, her little lungs making a truly impressive sound, and Tammy falters. "Shh," she hushes. "Mommy's got this. It's okay." Actually, Tammy has got this. She's come a long way from the scared little girl you remember. Even still, she looks like she's about to sink out of her body and through the floor with exhaustion. Ooh, so we have my turn to babysit, or can you teach me to babysit? I think I did the teach me one before, but because we have such high friendship with her this time, we can just babysit right away. My turn to babysit. Oh, Mama Tammy, and look, there's a Ricky and a Hot Eye. Tammy brightens. "Oh, that's a great idea. Echinacea, I think it's time for you to meet our very good friend Yabby." You and Tammy fall into a routine where every evening after dinner, you take Echinacea and go for a nice long walk through the gardens. Getting just a few hours of sleep before staying up most of the night with Echinacea does wonders for Tammy's sanity, and soon she's confident enough to allow other people to help out during the daytime. Eventually, Tammy agrees to place Echinacea in the creche during the day so she can fully recover from the birth and sort out her mental health. She still spends a lot of time in the creche, but it's because she wants to, not because she feels like she has to prove she's a good mother. It's still hard raising a little baby, but Tammy's going to do great, with a little help from the colony that loves her. Good. We have a whole community here ready to help, whenever she may need it. Oh, and she wants to talk to us again. Oh, there you are, Yabby. Tammy bounds over to you in a bright mood, her daughter Echinacea in a sling at her bosom. Could you do me a big favor and come with me to the cafe? I need your opinion on a thing I've been making. With pleasure. Surprise! Happy birthday, Yabby! It's not your birthday, but as soon as you walk into the cafeteria, all your friends jump out cheering. They're wearing knit party hats, throwing streamers, and blowing noisemakers, and you're pretty sure you can see a tiered display of cupcakes. Real ones, not soy cakes. What? Tammy skips forward and throws an arm around you, squishing Echinacea in her sling between you. You sputter that it's not your birthday, but Tammy just laughs. I know it's not your birthday, silly, but you've been feeling under the weather, and I wanted to show you how much we all love you. Oh, she's really the heart of this colony, isn't she? She's so sweet. The others raise their glasses to you. They cheer happy birthday again, laughing at the joke. You can feel their love like a blanket wrapping around your shoulders. You're so special to us, Yabby, Tammy says. Echinacea gurgles and lets out a warning wink, and Tammy bounces from side to side. I want you to enjoy yourself. Go ahead and mingle while I put the finishing touches on everything, okay? Tammy gives you one last sunny smile as she bustles away. The sound of Echinacea fussing and crying is audible over the murmur of conversation that erupts as the party begins in earnest. What do? Talk to my mom. Hey, kiddo. Your mom greets you with a faint smile. She seems to be thinking about something else as usual, but you can tell she's trying. I know it's not really your birthday, but goes to show you're pretty special. Your mom puts her hand on your shoulder. I know things have been hard for you recently, she says. It's part of growing up, but it's nothing you can't handle, and no matter what, I'll be here for you. A quavery cry wobbles through the air, and you can see Tammy rocking from side to side as she tries to comfort Echinacea. What do you do now? Time to find Tammy. You leave the party behind, seeking out Tammy. When she sees you, she makes a shooing motion. No, she says. Go enjoy the party. Echinacea squawks, pulling at Tammy's hair. She winces and patiently pries the baby's chubby, grasping hands from her hair. Seriously, goodness, don't waste your time here with me. Nowhere I'd rather be than with you. Tammy's expression goes soft. Oh, she says. That's so nice of you to say. Tammy flags down Nougat. Oh, Nougat! Who's been running plates back and forth. Could you please play with Echinacea for a little bit? Yabby and I are going to get some air. Echinacea gurgles happily as Nougat takes her away, and Tammy turns to you. Okay, I'm all yours, Yabby. You and Tammy slip out the door of the cafe and set off towards the garden. Tammy seems grateful for the break. She chats animatedly about plans to build a new creche, now that the second wave of colonists are beginning to realize the benefits of raising children communally instead of saddling whoever birthed them with all the responsibility. I hope that means Echinacea will have lots of other creche sibs soon, just like we did, Tammy says, with a wistful smile. I just want her to be happy, like we were. You both look over the walls, and the threat of danger they represent. Tammy doesn't comment on her use of the past tense, and you let it sit in the air between you. Not awkward, just accepting. It's quiet in the garden at this time of day. Everyone's either at the party or catching some rest while the suns are at their highest. A garden bot hops by on its spindly bird legs. You and Tammy are alone. You can feel the weight of insomnia press down on you, blunting the pleasure you'd normally feel from such a beautiful day. Even still, Tammy is a strong and comforting presence by your side, a far cry from the scared little girl you remember when you were kids. Even in your silence, Tammy senses you might have something to say. What's on your mind, Yabby? Oh! Tammy, I have feelings for you. Tammy stops in her tracks, pressing one hand to her chest. Her mouth works silently for a few seconds. Wait, do you mean you like me? At your nod, Tammy's eyes filled with surprised tears. I really? She stammers, and you laugh and hold out your hands. She throws herself into your arms, laughing and crying all the same time. I've liked you for so long, Yabby, she cries. Oh my goodness, it's so sweet. Tammy wipes her eyes and looks down at you. You cup her face in your hand and she giggles helplessly, sniffling as you guide her down to share your first kiss. It's slow and sweet, the whole garden in gentle motion around you as Tammy opens to you like a flower. In a single, perfect moment, you feel happiness glowing warm and bright in your heart. Eventually, it's time to head back at the party. There's cupcakes to eat after all. Tammy walks back with her hand in yours. Just before you enter the cafe, she turns to you. It's your birthday, but you gave me the best present, she says, voice soft and wondering. Tammy takes Echinacea back from Nougat, but before you can rejoin the party, Tammy stops with a hand on your arm. Wait, I have a present for you too. You protest that Tammy's already done enough, but Tammy's hearing none of it as she presses a book into your hands. The title reads, Oh, 100 Reasons Why I Love You. The book is filled cover to cover with memories, fond observations, and even little sketches, all in Tammy's loving hand. There's more than 100, she says shyly, tugging on her ear. I wrote the first title, but then I couldn't stop writing. You don't know what to say. Tammy's simply the best. She is. Oh my goodness, she's just so sweet. I love her. She cares so much about everyone. The rest of the party goes off without a hitch. Even little Echinacea is well behaved now, letting Tammy light the cupcakes. As you blow out your candles and everyone cheers, your only wish is to be able to feel like this forever, surrounded by love and support. That was so sweet, every little bit of it. Oh, she really is just the heart of this colony. She cares so much about everyone, and she makes sure that everyone knows how much they're loved. You're so sweet. Want to spend time together? Tammy blinks at you and laces her fingers over her heart. Oh yes, I think I can find some time. You go for a walk. You, Tammy, and Echinacea go for a walk around the colony. Oh, we're a little family. Holding hands and talking about whatever catches your fancy. Echinacea isn't a great conversational partner, but she makes up for it by being cute. Back at the entrance to the lounge, Tammy gives you a sweet kiss. Thank you for spending time with us, she says, wincing good-naturedly as Echinacea's chubby hand closes around her pointed ear. I know it's hard to work around a baby sometimes, but I wanted you to know I appreciate it. I love both you and Echinacea. Alright, now I really should go out and explore. I definitely have the least amount of stress to do it right now. Oh wait, but she's on the menu now. Hang on, let's look at that. Let me see her. Oh, look at her. Oh, and she's right by Cal. That's perfect too. Oh, look at them. The menu's almost full. We're only missing 3 more people. And then everyone will be here. Is this it? You're trekking through the Valley of Vertigo when you come across a large yellow flower. Each petal is at least the size of a dinner plate, all delicately curled in a central pit. You look inside the flower. You see that the petals cradle a swallow well of pale red liquid. It smells horrible, like rotting vegetables. You're about to leave it alone when you notice that the stamens of the flower are a deep purple red. Wait, isn't this what Aunt Anne asked you to find? You hold your nose with one hand and grab a hold of the fistful of stamens with the other. With a wrenching tug, you've separated the stamens from the flower. Ugh, it smells even worse now. Your eyes are watering. You retreat from the vile flower before it can deal any more damage to your senses. I was plugging my nose, by the way. I was trying to be realistic in my narration. Alright, let's deliver this beautiful flower. What's that smell? Aunt Anne asks, poking at your bag. Did you find that spice flower in Valley of Vertigo? Yes, I did. You present the plant parts from the Valley of Vertigo to Aunt Anne. Oh, wonderful, she exclaims, clapping her hands. She takes the bundle of stamens from you and breathes in deeply. Their smell has mellowed out in the time they've been in your backpack, or maybe it was just that super gross flower stinking up everything within the vicinity. There used to be a spice on Earth called saffron, Anne says dreamily. It was very rare, and took a lot of effort to gather it. This is as close as I think we're going to get on Vertumna. I'm very happy to have it. Thank you. Oh, that was just sweet. I always like seeing more content from the adults. I know that they're not the main characters, but it's sweet to be able to help them and see what they're up to. Oh, Nomi needs help studying for their physics class. They have this idea that they want to be an engineer when they grow up because they like robots and holograms, but they're having trouble actually learning engineering. Nomi pulls up a practice test on their holopalm. The Earth textbooks are full of this kind of dull rote learning, useful only for finding gaps in your knowledge. For Nomi, though, that gap seems to be everything. "Oh, I'm hopeless at this," they exclaim, tugging on the end of their asymmetrical haircut. "There's just so many numbers and formulas. I didn't know there was going to be so much math in engineering. And I have to figure out what I'm going to do for my project," they continue. "I want to code a chatbot, Gabby, next week. How do I get from here to there?" Let's take a look at this test. Oh, this is where embarrassing lesson comes in. Only 20% correct. Oh no. Some of their answers are embarrassingly super wrong too. Nomi's final project is due next week and you have to crunch a whole course load of info into their head and leave them enough time to write their bot? Can you do it? No problem. Nomi doesn't have a head for numbers, but they can take anything and turn it into a story, so you just have to apply that to the study of engineering. You encourage them to think of it in a different way. Yes, there's a lot of rote memorization at first, but once you understand the basics, engineering's all about creative thinking. You teach Nomi how these practice tests are built like a story. There are clues in the questions that help you solve them. Reading ahead can give you hints to the answers of earlier questions. With that and a few mnemonics, Nomi starts getting better results on their practice tests. "Thank you for helping, Abby," they say. "Let's be honest though, I'm doing okay on these practice tests, but being able to pass one standardized test doesn't mean I'll be a good engineer." You protest that this toolbox of skills will help them with any engineering problem, but they just shrug and smile. "I'm going to try some other things," they say. "Maybe there's something I'm naturally good at." Oh, that was kind of sad. Oh, Nomi. We really need to work on the confidence in this colony. Ooh, Nougat has an exam coming up and has been doing terribly in math skills all year. If she doesn't pass this, she's gonna flunk the whole class. You bring up a math problem on your holopalm. If 4 plus x equals 8, what is x? "It's 10, she says. "Teacher Hal taught us that v is 5, x is c, and c is 100. You give her the side eye until she smiles. "Just kidding, I know this one. X is the time symbol, right? Like multiplication? So 4 times 8 is I forget." She doesn't have the patience for this boring rote memorization. She needs the right motivation to care about doing these assignments. But can you figure out how to make learning fun for this kid? We did before, we'll do it again. You've worked with Nougat enough to know that she needs to be able to apply her holo learning to something in the real world. So instead of trying to teach her from a textbook, you take her all around to the places in the colony where people use math in their jobs. Aunt Anne tells her about doubling recipes for cooking, Cal teaches her about measuring a field and using it to find out how much fertilizer he'll need to shovel, and Mars shows her an easy way to calculate how many kudos he'll need to cover buying things in the depot. When she's not bored, Nougat is actually super smart. She's able to do far more complex math than she should know at her age. "Well, yeah," Nougat says when you compliment her on her math skills, "but that stuff isn't math. It's just knowing how things work." One day she'll realize that math is how things work, not just some boring old textbook and endless formulas, but for now, letting it do it her way seems to be the right strategy. Professor Hal can't believe you managed to get through to Nougat. He's so impressed that he gives you a kudos raise. Ooh, tutoring for the big test. "Heck yeah, Nougat, I love you very much. You're an amazing kiddo." I might be biased because I was a tutor once, but... Here we are. The beginning of the end. It's time to start a coup. Hang out with the Stratos. "I know you think he's evil," Tammy says, holding Echinacea to her shoulder while she speaks urgently to Cal. "But don't you think, even a little bit, that he's right about Fortuna being too dangerous?" Cal crosses his arms and shakes his head. "Killing is never right, Tammy," he replies. "We can't fight a whole planet. If we meet violence with violence, it's just numbers. They're going to win. We have to find a better way, or we're all going to die anyway." Tammy's chin wobbles, but she clenches it defiantly. "I just want to have a family, Cal," she insists. "Why can't we have one place in this awful planet where we can be safe?" She adjusts Echinacea against her chest. "I think it's worth defending this one space for ourselves. The monsters can live elsewhere, just not here." "I don't agree with that." but I'm trying to keep my friendship up with her. She's my girlfriend. I gotta stand by her. Tammy's right. We fight to survive. Tammy nods, grateful for the backup. I just want Echinacea to grow up somewhere safe, she says firmly. Like we did. We can do that with peas, too. Wait. Phew. I almost forgot. Here we go. I'm gonna wait it out in my quarters. And the bomb did not go off because I stopped these. Alright, we're in the last year. I don't know how much other stuff we're gonna be able to do this year, but I am gonna make sure we get a good ending with our lovely, lovely girlfriend. Tammy, the last year we get a cake. Thank you. Share it, of course. Oh, you're prepping roast vegetables for dinner while Tammy checks the stew over the range. You hear her squeak in dismay and turn off the music on your hearspeak to ask what's wrong. Oh no, she sighs, holding her hand over the range top. It's completely cold. The stew isn't boiling at all anymore. What are we going to do? There's another stove on the other side of the kitchen, but the enormous pot is so full of stew there's no way Tammy could carry it. I'm gonna fix the stove. Scooping it into smaller pots would probably take too long. The electromagnetic induction. You've been fixing these kinds of things since you could hold a screwdriver. It wasn't a big deal anyway. The local beaker blew, so you temporarily shunt the power from a different outlet and get the stove working again. You put in a requisition for engineering to take a look at the power consumption in the kitchen. My hero, Tammy exclaims. You saved dinner. Aw, just doing my part. We're the awesome chef girlfriends after all. You're tutoring one of the younger kids with their biology homework when you get a hollow message from Tammy. Your student asks what you're reading to make you smile so weird. Yabby, your face is red. Are you sick? You tell them to focus on their studies. Yeah, leave me and my girlfriend alone. I'm just blushing because she's the best thing that ever happened to me, and I'm on Vertumna, and she's beautiful and amazing, and shut up! Alright, it's time. There we go. We made it through. You reached your 20th birthday. Oh my goodness! Prolific parent! Oh my goodness, look at all our little kiddos! They're so cute! For the colony to put down roots on this planet, you all need to start having babies. It's a task you take on with gusto. In your lifetime, you parent dozens of children, all genetically diverse and coming from a variety of birth mothers, just as the colony's founders intended. Antecedent runs the creche well into her 90s and is a loving grandaunt, and eventually great-grandaunt to all your little ones. With so many children, it's only fair that you take over as head of the creche when she eventually needs to step back for health reasons. Oh no, your kids run rampant. Childhood shouldn't be constrained. Your passel of children runs amok around the colony, playing games of tag that span the entire place. Luckily, there's plenty of room, and your children learn valuable lessons about personal safety, and which adults not to bother too much. With such genetically diverse brood, there's no worries about future inbreeding in future generations. The gardeners still visit to offer a warning, as a courtesy, to the council when they see how enthusiastically humans are reproducing. The council asks you to cap it in the low 20s, just to be safe, and to leave some room for the other families. But what about Tammy? Your darling, your one, Tammy. She never ceases to fill your heart with joy. Your life with her overflows with happiness. Your commitment to each other only deepens. Your commitment ceremony, where you stand before the colony and profess your intentions to stay together as a family, is the most magical event the colony has ever seen. Everything is bedecked with flowers and streamers, and Tammy herself is radiant, like a princess from a fairy tale. Her second pregnancy, one you've had something of a hand in, this time, is just as cherished as the first, and as you kissed her amidst the colony's cheers, you can't help think of anyone else whom you'd rather embark on this journey. After the wedding, you throw yourselves into the business of making babies. It's wonderful, hectic, and rewarding in your lives together. You and your growing family become something of celebrities in the colony, a symbol of hope for the future. Quite without meaning to, Tammy becomes an advocate for the communal raising of children, just as you yourselves were raised. The more militant Helios resist, not wanting to associate with the Stratos' hippie nonsense, but as the colony grows, so too does her influence over the next generation. Uncle Tonin couldn't be more proud of his daughter, or his score of grandchildren. He dotes on them relentlessly whenever he's home from expedition. Though Aunt Anne stays on as the chief steward well into her 70s, Tammy takes over the new creche and becomes something of a mythical figure in the colony. Auntie Tammy in her own right. Aww! There's no child born who doesn't know the safety and warmth of Tammy's arms. Oh! Tammy is scared of Sim at first, but she's a lot more brave than anyone gives her credit. Living with Sim is a test of her empathy at times, but Sim is always happy to help, and he loves learning about cooking and crafting. Sim lightens Tammy's load, which is the true way to her heart. Sim is enthralled by the idea of children. Smaller, even less predictable humans? What's not to love? The children love their weird alien uncle. Oh, you and your mom drifted apart after your dad's death, but peace under the gardeners means she can't escape her grief by throwing herself into her work. With the forests bursting with food, the colony relies less on agriculture, and your mom finds herself with less and less to do. It's a hard time for her. She doesn't do well with being idle, and she doesn't trust the gardeners, and for a time her crabbiness only makes your relationship worse. It takes years to mend your bond. She dies of natural causes, having seen all her dreams of Vertumna come true. They'll always be with you, in the ground you walk on, in the trees that give you shade, and in the cycle of life that sustains you. You die at a ripe old age, surrounded by loved ones. Oh, and there we are again. Hello, old me. I lived my best life. I can tell from the weight of your soul, they say, that many of your friends and family died before your time, people who might not have, perhaps, if you'd made different choices. They pat your shoulder consolingly. It's natural in grief to wish you could have done something different, to have saved someone, but we're special, aren't we? We really can save them. I think they're talking about our dad. But that will have to wait for another time. Alright, I know we are still missing many endings, but I think Prolific Parent is the only one I think fits the best with Tammy. We have tons of other endings, but I've been categorizing them by the 4 characters that we're still going to do playthroughs on. And based on all of your requests, I think what we're going to do next is we're going to do 3 episodes on Dees, most likely, categorizing him from childhood, teenager, and adulthood, get the special endings, and then we're moving on to Mars. And then after that, we'll do Rex and Nomi, and then, if you guys still want, we'll go for a golden ending. See if we can save everybody and do everything as much as we possibly can. But until then, that is where we're going to end our Tammy run. I'm kind of sad because honestly, I think out of all the runs so far, I really love Tammy's the most out of all of them. She's just so sweet. She loves people so much and she cares so much about you. And the commitment ceremony at the end, she's so full of love and I love that. A character who brightens the day anytime you see her, she's amazing. Next to Dees and Sim, she's definitely my favorite. So, I am sad, but I will be happy to let her live from now on, except in our Dees run, because I have a plan for that one, but after that, in the next runs, I promise she will live. No more killing Tammy. But, all those runs will have to wait for next time. Until then, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider subscribing. Remember to take care of yourselves, take care of Tammy as well, and have a good day.